So welcome to our next tutorial on Docker images. Today I'm gonna show you how to reuse Docker containers created by some other teams, communities. I already told you that there is the option of making your app as a sequence, a combination of the Docker containers created by others, like we use with Lego blocks, for example. And the first use case, which I very often use, is to reuse Docker containers with a Jupyter notebook installed with all the most important libraries like SciPy, whatever. So, for example, here, as we can see, we have Jupyter Docker Stack website which shows you different images provided by community which contain either just a very basic installation or some bit more advanced. As you can see, we have some minimal notebook, R notebook, Julia notebook, SciPy notebook, which we're going to use now, so you can browse those notebooks by yourself. And next, we are going to try to run such a sample notebook on our data. So for that, I'm gonna use this command, docker run. Look, what is here in this command? I run a Docker. I need to map the ports from the original Docker port to my port 10,000, and then I take the official Jupyter Docker image from Jupyter repo, image with the stack SciPy notebook. SciPy means that we're gonna have the very basic scientific libraries, statistical libraries installed with this in this version. Let's have a look what's gonna happen now. It tells me that it is unable to find the image on my local computer. Just one very important reminder, in order to run this from the command line, you need to have your Docker daemon running in the background on a computer. Okay, so let's wait now. As you can see, it pulls the Docker image from the public hub, Docker hub. Okay, so now I have it. I have some instruction how to open this. That may be a bit misleading because it shows me that I should run it on the port 8888, but as you already saw, I have moved this and I have mapped this port into the port 10,000 here. So in my browser, I need to type something like this. So HTTP localhost 127.0.0.1 in the port 10,000. Let's have a look. Yep, I have it. The only thing I need to do is just to copy paste this token. So I copy paste this token. Yep. And here I am. So the next step will be to add our own files by clicking this plus button. I can add this file and this file to our Docker. And now, if I double click this folder, I have it running. So I can, as you can see, run the command line. It will import, so it has everything installed. I have this file here in my main folder, so I need to change this line here and check whether it works. Yes, it perfectly works. So thanks to this, I have environment with all the required libraries like pandas, cpor, matplotlib ready for me in a Docker file. I can run it locally in the computer, which has completely no other installations. The typical use case for me are trainings. So imagine that I have some people for whom I would like to show some quite advanced machine learning techniques, but I do not want them to install all the Conda, Mamba, Poetry, package managers to install the packages, libraries, etc. The only thing I need from them is to have a Docker running on the computer, which is much easier. It's not always the possible in the corporate environments because the computers does not administrators does not allow this. But for you, that may be much easier. That may make the barrier of entry much easier to different systems. So this is the first example of how we can use an existing image to run your Jupyter notebook with the required libraries with the access to your local files. Yes, so you can see I was able to import the files from my local computer. There are some packages, libraries, which may cause different problems, for example, due to interdependencies between required libraries with your other systems. One of such libraries, which also many times made a lot of problems for me, is PyCaret, which is, by the way, great AutoML library. So in order to avoid this, if you would like to make a quite fast approach to test it, to give it a try on your local machine, you can use its official Docker image. So just simply Google this and you'll find on hubdocker.com /r/pycaret/slim the official Docker. You have, as you can see, two versions, slim or full. And let's give it a try. So in order to use it, I copy paste this command here. I come back to my terminal. As you can see, I have example Jupyter notebook for binary classification of the churn model with some training data. So this is a nice example of AutoML solution. And within this folder, having my Docker daemon running, I type docker run minus PyCaret, and I now map those ports directly 8888 to 8888, and just simply copy paste the command from the official Docker repo of PyCaret. Let's have a look. So once again, it cannot find the image on my local computer, so it pulls the image from the repo. Okay, so it's there. In order to run this, we can use this command. Let's give it a try. It has already included a token within the hyperlink, so that's why I didn't have to work it that. And once again, as previously, I'm gonna add my files to the Docker because at the moment it's empty. So I open this. Moreover, I add an extra file, this one. Open the Jupyter notebook. It's in Polish, but you do not have to worry about that. I have some description of the data And now I can read the data, make some imports and read the data set. As you can see, if I type now datasets head, it works. So we have this running, but now I will show you just to prove that we have PyCaret installed. We can configure this, and from PyCaret import all the data. As you can see, it correctly imports PyCaret classification submodule. And now I just simply fine tune this. As you can see, it works perfectly. So this is a very interesting another example. You can use. So in that case, I avoided the problems with the installation of quite demanding library, which is the PyCaret, depending in terms of different versions of different libraries used by the system. So usually it would require me to create a new dedicated environment just only for PyCaret, but now I can run it as a Docker or use it as a Docker also in my pipeline, which we are going to use in next tutorials. And final sanity check, just to check. Look, I can start a new shell, and as previously I can let's go look Docker. Okay, Docker PS. Apologies that this is the command. As you can see, I have this container running. If I would like to stop it, I can either say docker stop, docker container stop, or prune. Prune means that kill all the running containers. So that completes our next tutorial. Very easy, I think, but extremely useful how to use existing containers. The next step, which will be a bit more advanced, we are going to talk about data transfer between container and host and containers themselves in different scenarios. Happy coding!